Hi. In this tutorial, I am going to explain how we can connect a V-Ray sun with an HDRI map properly, when we want to use these two light sources together in our scene. Why do we need to match and connect them? Because, if we prefer to have a V-Ray sun and a V-Ray dome light with an HDRI map texture assigned to it as the light surface, together to create a more realistic environment, and if the HDRI map has a visible sun, that means we will have two suns in the scene. Then, we need to match the direction of the V-Ray sun with the HDRI sun, and connect them together, so that, when we want to change the rotation of the HDRI map, the V-Ray sun moves with it. Now let us see how we can do it. I have prepared this graphic for you to easily understand the logic. A dome light is a spherical or hemispherical light source that shines inward at the scene as if from outside the scene extents. It is generally used for image-based lighting, using panoramic 360-degree HDR images. Now think as if we draw a line from the scene origin point to the center of the sun in the HDRI image. Then, the V-Ray sun has to be positioned somewhere on this line, in order to be matched directionally. By the way, note that the position of the V-Ray sun icon only defines the direction of the V-Ray sun, not the real position of the V-Ray sun itself, when rendered. The visible V-Ray sun in render is positioned at the same angle but somewhere far from the icon in the scene, when not used with an HDRI environment map. If there is an HDRI map as the sky, you can't see the V-Ray sun in render. Now let's apply this logic to our scene. First, create a dome light. From V-Ray toolbar, choose V-Ray dome light and click somewhere in the top view viewport. Now, let's assign an HDRI map to it. Open Material Editor. Under Maps. V-Ray. With V-Ray 5, V-Ray HDRI map renamed as V-Ray bitmap. Double-click V-Ray bitmap. Go to Parameters and click to choose an HDRI image. Locate your HDRI map folder. I will use this one. Click Open. Choose the mapping type as spherical. Now, we need to assign it as the dome light texture map, and then as the background environment map. Select the dome light and go to Modify tab of the command panel. Click, drag, and drop the bitmap as an instance. Open Environment window with the shortcut key 8, and do the same. OK, now let's create a V-Ray sun. Go to V-Ray toolbar. V-Ray sun. Click and drag somewhere like this. We are using an HDRI map as the sky. So, we say no for a V-Ray sky. Now we need to look from origin point to the HDRI sun. For this, place a V-Ray camera to the scene. Create tab. Cameras. V-Ray. Physical camera. Look towards the lights. OK, we have created all the objects. Now it is time to set up their positions. Select all and move them onto the x-axis, by using transform type in coordinate fields, here at the status bar. Enter 0 for the y field. They are aligned on the x-axis now. We need to move the dome light, the V-Ray sun target and the camera target to the origin point. Select these three objects and move them by setting the x value as 0. OK, let's turn off the grids now, for a clear view. Activate camera view, simply by clicking C. Now we need to set up the camera to see the HDRI sun. Move the camera to see the sky. OK, this looks good for now. Let's turn off this grid also. The HDRI we used does not have a clear sun. So, we need to decrease the value of overall multiplier to see a clear sun. Something like 0.05 should work fine. Okay, much better now, but we are still not seeing the sun. We need to rotate the map by playing with the horizontal rotation value. Here it is. Click the camera to see the grid of camera field of view. I need to center the sun to this vertical line in the middle because it corresponds to x-axis. Okay, perfect. Now we aligned the HDRI sun with the objects, over x-axis. Next, we will match the direction of the Viray sun with the HDRI sun. To do this, we need to move the Viray sun over the HDRI sun in the camera view. Simply move the Viray sun upwards. Are we done? Of course not, because the direction of the camera is different than the direction of the Viray sun. These two lines must be at the same angle as if there is one single line. We can easily do that with moving them to the same coordinate numbers for x and z axes. Let's round up these numbers for easy entry. The same numbers but negative values for the camera. Okay, we matched their directions to each other, but the HDRI sun has a different direction angle. We need to change the z numbers till we have them at the same place in the camera view. Let's try 80. Good, but not exactly. Nope. Last time. Yes, that is okay. Now we matched the suns properly. This is like a single line and we are looking the HDRI sun from a point on this line. What we need to do next is to create a connection between the Viray sun and the HDRI map, so that if we rotate the map, we don't lose the matching we have done. We will create an indirect connection over the dome light. First, we will link the Viray sun to the dome light, and then, we will use the parameter wiring feature for connecting the Z rotation of the dome light to the horizontal rotation of the HDRI map. But before doing the linking, we need to equalize these rotation values. The positive or the negative rotation directions for the dome light and the HDRI map are reverse. So, for the positive rotation value of the map, we are going to set the same number but as negative for the light. -36.4. Okay, now let's do the linking. I am going to link not only the Viray sun, but also the camera to the dome light, in order to be able to easily check from the camera view that the connections are okay. We can use the select and link command, but I will show you a more practical way. Open Scene Explorer panel. I am using the shortcut key D, but you can open it from here on the main toolbar. Make sure you are at the hierarchy mode. Here we see a list of existing objects in the scene. To link one object to another, just click the object, and drag and drop it over the target one. Link Viray sun to its target. Link the camera to the camera target. Then link both targets to the dome light. Now the linking is done. It works as child, parent, and grandparent. To unlink any object, just drag it to somewhere empty. Now let's check the linking. Rotate the dome light. And yes, the others are also rotating. Next, we are going to connect the HDRI to this rotation. Open Parameter Wire dialog window. I have added it here to Quad menu, but it can also be opened from Animation menu group, under Wire Parameters. For the left parameter, let's choose the V-Ray dome light. Under Transform, Rotation, and click Z Rotation. For the right parameter, Environment, Texture Map, and click Horizontal Rotation. Add a minus for Z rotation of the light, because, as I said before, the turning directions are not the same. Let's do it as a two-way connection. This way, both parameter changes affect the other one. Click Connect to complete the connection. Let's check it over both the light and the map. When rotating the dome light, the HDRI map turns with it. Rotate the map. And yes, the dome light and the V-Ray sun rotate with it, keeping the suns together. Now let's have a look at the scene from a perspective view. Notice that the directions of the suns remain equal to each other. Okay, we have set up the connection as we wanted it to be. Now before ending this tutorial, there are two more things I want to show you. Let's create a simple scene for this. A couple of boxes is enough. Let's add a V-Ray plane. Okay, a simple view. Assign a V-Ray material to the boxes. Select both. And assign it. Let's change the color a little bit. Okay. Change the overall multiplier back to 1. Let's choose a green color for the V-Ray plane. Okay. Now change the view to a camera view. Go to Render Settings. Lock the view. And add a V-Ray denoiser element. Okay. V-Ray frame buffer. And start IPR. The environment is too dark. Let's increase the render multiplier of the HDRI map. 20 should be fine. IPR again. Yes, good now. Let's enlarge the image size a bit. OK, rendering done. Open History panel, and save the image. OK, now the first thing I wanted to show you was this. If you need, you can move the V-Ray Sun to somewhere far from the current position. But you have to keep the direction as the same. This way, it does not change your lighting setup. Let's see. I am going to multiply all coordinate values by 10. This will keep the direction as the same. Now the sun is far away. Let's render again. Done. Save image and compare with the previous one. As you see, there is no difference. Like I said in the beginning, the position of the V-Ray Sun icon is not important. It is the direction that matters. The second issue is that the position of the lights can be changed also without affecting the illumination. They don't have to be at the origin point. It is better that we keep them away from the main elements of our scene for clarity. Let's see the render. Render done. Let's compare it with the previous one. Again, no difference. Finally, I'll show you the first camera view to see whether the matching of the two suns is changing or not, while we are moving the lights. It is not, and this is simply because the HDRI map is located at the extents of the scene, which is theoretically at an infinite distance. And that's it for this tutorial. Thanks for watching. You can leave any comments or questions below. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It encourages me to prepare more tutorials. Bye for now.